I think we have a shared element this week in
Yes,
Sifu.
that's correct.
Now here's the thing. So let's do it simultaneously. I only did one session of Sifu, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
still only at level 2, the club, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's not beaten.
Yep.
So that's where I got to.
Got it.
Uh,
I will keep that in mind.
that being said, knowing that I haven't beaten it, I have spent the last couple days playing everything but not beating it because the squats and the club up until actually be I have just fucking hammered in that time. This game is unbelievably fucking fun. And I
It's real
mean
good.
it is like I said, it's an excuse to talk about Absolver and to give them the slow clap for what they've done. You know, because the bones of what they made last was good. It had other problems that were not the combat. You know, and here you just make it a PVE focused challenge, and you
Mm-hmm.
just make it like you have different ways of dealing defensively with whatever's coming at you, and then you just keep the flow going. Whatever you respond to is like it's strict, it's unforgiving, but also
Oh boy.
when you get into a flow, it's unbelievably satisfying. And yeah, I fucking love it, man.
So what is your you've been fucking about with the club and the squats, and I think you said you've only beaten squats in your thing. You've been messing with club, but you haven't beaten it.
Okay, well, like to be perfectly honest, like I get Sean down to
To like 1% or
his one pip, and then I restart because we're
okay.
waiting to move forward.
Okay, because so I got the true ending over the weekend,
Okay.
of which there is a true ending, is a concept I didn't expect this game to have. So I beat all 5 stages and got the true ending, and um, I finished it up and had this moment of like, is Wooly like doing like a 1 or 2 off on this, or is he beating it? Because I spent like 8 hours on the club, like in
Oh, interesting.
totality,
Okay.
not beating it,
Mm-hmm.
mind you, but the number one factor, and this is what I'm going to start with, is like, what is your top time on the squats? And is
Uh,
it 0?
no, certainly. Um, but I'm not. I haven't checked my time. I was just looking at I was looking at age and like
When I say
score.
time, I mean your age.
Oh, 21.
21? Okay. You're going to want to get that down to 20.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can feel it.
And
Hmm.
and this is the you're going to want to get club down to 20 as well.
I feel it's within my grasp because um what I like there's okay, you know how there's obviously there's the point system where you
Mhm.
have to be below a certain age, right? To get certain things like the weapon durability. Um I discovered coming out of the squats for the first time that the skill tree, literal skill tree,
Mhm.
mind you, also has age restrictions.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that because they don't tell you that because it's you're supposed to find out like by hitting that age and
Yeah, you're
realizing,
supposed to find
oh,
out in mission 4 when you're like 65 and you're like, "Well, I have the experience." And
oh
it's like, "Ah, no one
no,
cares."
you're too old to learn this. And it's like, oh shit, okay. So that process has prioritized all of my power ups for what I want to get. So I've been hitting the club and I've been hitting the squats and like squats is like at this point it's pretty much it's just like how smooth is the warehouse going down. The rest of it is fine. And then the club, it with the real thing was just like okay, how do you deal with the students, the martial arts students, right? The
Right.
ones who have that specific move set that involves the the giant like advancing like kind of bagua punch, you know,
The elbow palm delayed orange palm.
into strike exactly. And
Yeah.
so like that fucked me up super hard the first time I hit that the students in the guy who's sitting down there, you know. And then I realized I'm like, okay, yeah, this is gonna take off stream learning to get this move set down.
100%.
You know,
So
same thing for when they pick up a staff as well.
yeah, so I have so first of all, now that I've gotten the true ending, I have a lot of stuff that is very unclear and you would never know until you put another 10-15 hours into it that I can give to you as a help.
Okay.
And the true ending is easy to get. So first of all, it's not a problem. The
Okay.
true ending mechanics are totally separate from all of the run mechanics, age mechanics. You just do them and they're done. Okay.
I've discovered
So
a lot in the grind I've been putting in for the first two levels. Yeah.
So this is the number one thing to know if you're playing Sifu, okay? And specifically for the squats, right? You want to get squats down to 20 because if you get it at 20, you never have to do it again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain skills that you get from the shrines are way better than others.
Mm-hmm.
Like way better than others. And in the squats, you cannot use any shortcuts and still get all 3 shrines.
Is there a way to get all 3 in the squats?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the third one that requires the side door, I couldn't figure out how to get back to that once you move too far forward.
Yes, because you absolutely cannot take any shortcuts through the squats. You have to go the long way.
But
so
what
the,
I mean,
the first one is you go the normal path. You don't use the door on the left to shortcut it. You go all the way up the stairs and
all the way around, jump through.
And
yep.
then you pass by a shrine that is in a kind of decrepit room before you climb up something.
Yep, that's the first one.
The second one is where you fight the 2 security guys with the tattoos.
Oh.
And they're the ones who give you the key.
It's in the room with them?
It's in the room with them, which is
I
why
missed
you
that
can't
one.
take the shortcut.
Okay, I missed that one. Yeah, okay.
Right? Because if you take the shortcut, you skip that room.
And you get a different one.
No.
Because there is one. Hold up. When you take the shortcut in the lobby, right? Mm-hmm. There is a statue that you encounter as you're moving through that shortcut area.
Yes, and you only get 2 total for that.
Exactly. But I didn't know there was one in the tattoo room. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, if you take the shortcut, you only get 2.
Yeah.
If you don't take the shortcut and do the whole level,
okay,
you get 3.
Awesome.
And do you know about the taunt?
I know there is a taunt, and it seems to aggro the opponents.
So taunts build up your score multiplier.
Okay.
Right? So the trick is for squats is you get to the very first guy on the stage and taunt him until you get the 5 times multiplier. Then you roll the whole stage the long way.
Old boy hallway.
And
multiplier.
Yeah, the old boy hallway, the 2 goons, the fat guy,
yep.
the raid room,
yep.
etc.
Yep.
And then you end up with if you did it really excellently, you have the ability to get 2 of the final score upgrade, which is parrying does more structure damage to opponents.
Okay.
That is the best skill in the game.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No question. Once you get it to number 3, it's the difference between like a parry will take off like 25% of somebody's structure.
Okay.
As opposed to like 5 or 10%.
So without trying them all out, I was gunning for weapon durability since it requires the lowest age, right?
Useless.
Okay.
Enemies in later stages carry so many weapons that after fights, there's like 3 or 4 weapons on the ground.
And then I tried remixing that, and I did a run through the squats with weapons damage.
Okay, weapon damage does help, but it doesn't help you on the bosses because most of the bosses, you don't have a weapon to fight them.
Most of the time, yeah.
So, like, if I had to tell you, like, the absolute mandatory skills, it's all 3 of the score ones.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then more structure. The 60-year-old one, the
Yeah.
very first skill, more structure, because that helps the most with the bosses. And then the remaining 3 can be to taste.
So here's a question.
That would be my recommend.
Okay. Well, the thing is well, 2 things. One, the uh uh uh, uh the structure one, for example, like the better I got at fighting Sean, the less that mattered.
Right.
Because and now I'm feeling like I dance around him. Like Sean's nothing. But the so I realized I was like, okay, I increasing my structure might not be as advantageous as putting it into, let's say, like meter or something, right? But then the other question is like, does having level 3 meter early on in help? You know, there's
No.
cool moves,
Okay, so
but
I have really bad news for you, and the news is that the shrine upgrades are horribly balanced. Horribly balanced. Okay, so the increased meter moves, they take experience, and you have to buy the move, and most of them require a weapon. For about 90, for almost every boss fight other than Sean, you're not going to have a weapon. And the bosses are much tougher than the stages they live in.
Okay.
The structure thing is the same. Regaining health on
Takedowns.
On takedowns. I thought that was going to be the best skill, but it doesn't give a lot more. It's like you don't even get
Even
double
maxed
when it's
out?
level 3. Yeah. Like it doesn't give that much.
Okay.
So like I found that eye gouge, the eye gouge move is probably the best move.
I do the sweep constantly.
So the reason why I recommend the eye gouge move is because let's take Sean, right? A boss that you're familiar with, and I'm sure you fought him on stream, right? If you have the second score upgrade where you get more focus when you dodge moves or parry moves, right? You're going to get the ability to do eye gouge or sweep constantly, right? If you dodge him, get that, and get eye gouge, you can charge up the back fist and hit him with the full powered back fist. Then you do the knockdown back forward square, which causes the stagger.
Yeah.
Then you do crooked leg, which is the sweep. And then they're on the ground, and you can pick them up and get the hit in like you would with the sweep anyway.
Already doing that via a different sequence.
Okay.
So I'm
the
doing...
The reason I recommend eye gouge is because against bosses that you have trouble getting in on, it's free.
Yeah. The sweep is free as well, but what I do is... same thing. So I do the knockdown sequence. So like heavy, delay heavy. You get the roundhouse in when they're open.
Right. Yeah.
Take that knockdown, pick them up, and then back forward palm. Right. They stagger backwards, and then running sweep. Right, which I've permanently unlocked, which is then another free knockdown. Pick them back up. Right?
Yeah.
Spend the meter at that point if you want, and you have a nice sequence, and then usually after the second or so, the third, they're breaking out of it. But like in that moment when you pick them back up, at least with Sean, I noticed you and other enemies, you have time for the charged strike. So
depends on the enemy. Basically, each larger enemy or boss is going to give you less time and more guaranteed. Sorry, you need to go for more guaranteed stuff. The weirdest thing is Sean is like might be like the hardest boss.
Yeah, interesting. He was really hard at first, but then I just learned it. I fucking learned all of it.
So for me, maybe it's because I can't react to his sweep.
Okay.
I fought him maybe 100 times now. I can't react to it. Like I tried over and over and over.
I can, but it's like I just kind of went, nothing else matters. See him do the start of that animation because it's different, right? The start of the sweep animation is different, and it's like do a mental spike on that, as if you were reacting to something in a fighting game. You know what I mean? Like, just like you have to recognize that animation. What sucks is in phase 3 when he starts backing off, right?
Oh,
He
dude, it sucks shit. That's why I like the eye gouge, because it locks him down.
It locks him down, yeah. Because you'll see these moments where like you'll jump the sweep anyway, but you don't get a reward for it. You know.
What I ended up doing on that, the only way I got around it, is I blocked the first hit of every combo he threw out,
and then reacted to the rest. Yeah.
Every other hit other than that sweep is high.
Yeah. So except well, there's some side ones where you wanna like where he does the vertical, you know, swing.
Yeah,
sweep.
those are actually high.
Okay.
The game you'll look at your character actually physically go left right.
Yeah.
But strikes are actually only high or low.
Okay. I'm inputting side when it happens, you know?
Yeah.
So when so at first I was blocking the shoulder strike and then reacting to the second hit of the string, which is also a very I mean other action games do that. Like you'll do that in a Souls game, you know what I mean? Like block the first hit of their combo, parry the second. But then after learning how to react to the sweep, I learned how to react to the shoulder block coming. Also, when he does the full-on killick poke, you know, that's the fastest one to react to. So it's just like, just be ready to dodge whatever the fuck is coming when he approaches, you know?
So for the future stages, for squats, you have to go the long way to get all the shrines.
All 3, okay.
For the club, you can do every shortcut and still get all 3. You can skip most of the club and still get all 3.
Yeah, because once you loop back around, you have the backdoor access point anyway.
Because the last one's right in front of the boss.
Exactly.
And then the second one is in the fighter
the workout room
that you have to go through.
You have to go through the workout room,
right?
And then the first one's on the dance floor. Yeah.
The third stage, you can skip about 90% of the total stage and still get all 3.
Interesting.
The fourth one, you have to kind of do it all.
But if you're going for high score, if you're going for score to unlock.
Well, that's the thing. You don't need to go for high scores if you get all 3 high score ones in the club and the squats.
Okay.
Right?
So you put them you put them out first.
I ran the squats and clubs so many times to have perfect runs of those to work off of on the and the final stage, once you unlock the shortcuts, genuinely don't care. Just ignore the shrines to get the one that's in front of the boss, because the final stage is long and the shortcut cuts it down 95%. The shortcut is basically just walk to the boss.
I mean, so what's interesting is that like by doing the runs, and the game is really smartly designed in this way too, like the skill tree and the shrines being 2 separate things to invest in on your character, one requiring progression and the other requiring subsequent runs. It's like each run that you do to improve what you're doing, you find ways to bank those points even in skills you don't care about, as long as you're working towards a permanent unlock. It's worth it, you know. And I know that from roguelites is like the moment you see something really expensive but it's a permanent unlock, absolutely zone in on it. Don't even bother with the temporary.
Before I started taking my like for real runs on the 3rd stage, I had permanently unlocked maybe 90% of the total move list.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a couple that are losers. There's a couple moves that are just like pointless because you can't interrupt people at certain levels. But it's pretty good. The most important thing I could possibly tell you, and this is totally vital, if you, let's say, beat the squats at 20, right? Make sure that's the run that you got all 3 shrines and you're happy with your upgrades.
Yes,
because
I heard about this.
When you beat a level at 20, it locks. You can't overwrite it with a new run.
I got a message about this while I was playing that, there's a bug that can be patched currently. It's not a bug as much as a design decision, but
it seems like an oversight.
But what it is in terms of all the things you can do to score highly, age is the highest priority. So if you're age 20 and you do a shitty run, it's going to prioritize that over a better run at any higher age.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you beat it at rank 20. You
Yeah.
beat it at age 20. You
Yeah.
don't need help.
So you
Um,
then can be fucked over for the subsequent ages on your next levels. Yeah.
do you know how to get the true ending?
Well, like
It's really simple.
so here's the thing is I've inadvertently caught a detail about the game that I didn't want to know, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is our jobs. It happens. So it's premature in my gameplay, but I've become aware of the fact that you can spare the boss's lives somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Spare all of them.
I don't know what that entails, but I that's it.
You're not gonna figure it out naturally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fine. Fine.
You can practice it on the first guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's break his posture until you get to the part where you can do the the kill, and then don't.
Okay.
And then break it again.
Okay.
And then you get a little button on the screen that says spare.
Okay.
The important thing, and I tested this myself, you don't need to do it in one run. You can like spare like the boss of level 3 and then start the run over from the beginning, and you'll still have the completion of you spared that one.
Okay. Well, yeah, so that was kind of like what I was assuming was the case, is like going pacifist, quote unquote, then.
Game is like stupid excellent.
Yeah. Flaws, though. I can name one.
Camera.
No, multiple. Actually, multiple. There's a couple flaws. Camera fucks around real bad sometimes.
Camera
Depends.
will occasionally go insane and kill you.
And another one is, well, there's certainly like the balancing of the things you buy. Like you said, it's like there's some of them are incomparable. For like looking at that skill tree, like the ability to use your environment to kick and knock down enemies is
best ability in the game.
It's unbelievable that it's even in the same list as other things. It is so, it's like it's an entire environmental system that is not there by default. It's crazy to think that that is comparable. But my biggest issue is the training mode is not enough. That lab needs more. We need the ability.
I forgot it was there.
Yeah, and you also get some weird camera shit in the lab too. As someone who loves labbing, I took it to the training mode to figure out the systems, and I'm always super happy to see the void in anything, but I want more options for putting a weapon in the enemy's hand, or like what type of enemy I'm fighting. Like there should be the ability to just do what the void does and pick a different enemy, turn them on or off, and then practice against them at least once you've encountered them, right? Mm-hmm. So Devil May Cry 5 will be like, hey, you've now fought against this type of enemy. You can go back to the training room and work on that, which becomes like hyper essential for some of the harder ones. I feel that that's exactly what this game needs. Put a weapon in their hands, load in different enemies, and load in more than one. Because the skill of defending against the group is also something you can practice.
The game, I imagine they could have done that. The game feels like they just want you to run the stages over and over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is a fine-tuning process that I ended up labbing with, like, if I kill off a room and there's one guy left who I want to work on, I'll let them do their stuff, and I'll just spend time dodging and parrying that to learn the moveset. I'll treat the stage like the lab if that's what it takes,
Yeah, so camera's number one for me. Like, occasionally when you do something, the camera will just get itself stuck behind a wall, and you're staring at the wall while you're getting beat down, and then you fucking die. Number two is I had a maybe I'm unlucky, but I had a bad habit of kicking people under the floor.
Oh no.
Like doing the sprinting attacks and just clipping them right through the fucking ground.
Oh, I haven't
all the
seen
way
any
under
of
the
those
ground
yet.
and having to restart it.
Okay.
But that only happened about 6 or 7 times over about 20 hours.
Okay. Um, yeah, there also more lines of taunt, please.
Yeah.
You know, like at least two or three. But yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and assume that like that age 20 clear thing is the one that needs the most attention right now.
Yeah, no, I want the ability to do, I want to try out new skills and make a new run. Because even if I started all the way over from squats and got halfway through, the instant I die, it goes, well, nope, back to the run you made on, last Thursday,
Hmm.
because that's the one you got 20 on.
And this is I don't envy the testing on this game because it is a super unconventional, complex progression system. You know,
Mhm.
the momentum you carry going forward into each level is based on what you did in the last level, and then the tree is independent of all that. So, but you've got three layers of progression interacting with each other, and you need to make sure that your permanent unlocks stay while you've remixed your score based or your shrines, and
Yeah.
that remixing process is it's not permanent. So that's the stuff that I find would be really hard to test, I imagine.
Also,
Yeah.
I 100%ed all the like the detective board. Um, and you don't get anything.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like you get an achievement per stage, but like I thought I'd be like looking over it and be like, "Oh, no." They're all just little, it's just little collectible details. There's no like
Mm-hmm.
big mystery to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Shout outs to um, punching someone being the fourth dialogue option.
Yes.
That's always great. Um,
Especially if you do it fast enough,
and
then
they
you just
don't,
go
and they're taken off
you
guard.
just instantly go into the takedown because they're like,
Mm-hmm. What just happened? Yeah. I like that. And yeah, no. Shout outs to subsequent runs, revealing to you where some hidden weapons are in the rooms that you might not have noticed the first time. There are
Mhm.
hidden weapons all over the place that
Oh
are
yeah.
just out of sight.
Do you no, you wouldn't. Okay, there's a trick with the knife. There's a knife weapon that you can get in the
Hmm.
third stage onwards.
I
Um,
picked it up. Where did I see the knife?
somewhere.
I saw the knife somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, so do you know that you can just instantly kill people with the knife?
Oh my God! Really? Throw?
So, no, it's the charged back fist.
uh,
If so, you charge the back fist, you get one, and then he drops his
Swipe.
hand lower,
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do that with the knife, he just stabs him or she just stabs him in the chest, and they just die.
Oh my God. Okay.
But it uses up the knife.
Okay.
But what it means is that there are times in which you go into an area and you're like, there's the obvious heavy
Yep. The heavy.
eye gouge,
Stab.
stab, done,
What
gone.
about if you use the upgrade? Use the weapon until it's broken.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, that breaks it.
The use a weapon until it's broken. What that does is suck shit compared to what it says it does.
The description's not
Um,
clear enough. Definitely.
so
I'm
when
assuming it's get extra durability on shit that would break when you throw it.
no, it's the bat turns into a bottle for one hit. The staff turns into a bat and then disintegrates, and the knife you can just throw once it's broken. Like it's literally like one or two extra hits, and most of
Okay.
them are thrown items.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, game is excellent, and I've only played the first two levels of it. A
You
lot,
know,
but yeah.
it's one of those games that is so absolutely excellent, top to bottom. It looks great, it sounds great, it feels great, it's a blast, it's smart, it's interesting. Like it's A plus. That in other years I would have been able to say this might be the game of the year already. Except it's February of 2022
Mm-hmm.
and it's coming out smartly 2 weeks before Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Something that, so you talk to a lot of PR people, right, in this line of work when you talk to people about codes and whatnot. This is the first time I've ever in my career been talking to people and they will straight up go, "Oh yeah, dude, got to get out of the way, Elden Ring, LOL."
Mm-hmm. Also, Sifu is it's not it's a game that's short, right? This is a short, tight experience. It's not
Yeah,
meant
I'm
to prolong over.
completely done with it now.
It's not meant to
After,
prolong over a super long period of time. Yeah. Um.
unless you want to get the hardest achievement, which is beat the game under 25,
Oh yeah. Okay.
which I am. I think my lowest is like 45 or 46.
I would assume that would have been like do a perfect run completely, essentially.
That is considered a perfect run.
Yeah. 25.
Well, yeah, because
Okay.
25 is one death per stage.
Okay. Right. Okay. Um. What was I gonna say? There's something about it. Um. Ah. Shit. I don't know. Something else I was gonna point out about it that's really good. But, yeah. I really. I hope that like. I love to see when a dev team can, take some potential and realize it into something fucking sick like this, and then it blows them up. It elevates the profile. This in particular, I hope that maybe a year from now we see like Sifu, like 2 new stages, DLC update.
Well, they're already putting out an update in like the near future.
Did they? I haven't seen it. Okay.
So it is going to be more accessibility options, like closed captioning stuff and that kind of thing, and they're adding an easy and a hard mode.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the fuck the hard mode is going to be.
I hope it's
But
not just like you take
it is
more damage and deal less.
It is very likely just that.
Okay.
The game seems like too deliberately tuned. Like there's so many, almost every encounter has dudes like walking out and talking shit. Like I don't think you can just add 5 more dudes.
Hmm. And then something else too is like realizing like what areas of a room have interactable like surfaces.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that like literally the first room you walk into in the squats, you can crawl up the wall.
Yeah.
And because I was just looking around, I was like, oh, there's 2 little spaces there. That looks like something I can. Oh shit, you totally can. Or what was the other one? In the trial of dexterity, trial of whatever, the first trial,
Yeah.
you can
Climb up the sides of the wall.
not only climb up the wall, where there's the 2 broken wall areas, you can do a jump across.
Yeah, I had
A dynamic
done
jump.
that encounter maybe 30, 40 times before I figured that out. I thought I was just fighting on the lower stage exclusively.
Yeah. No, like I've broken it to do that fight efficiently. I've broken it up into 2 segments. Like ambush the dudes on the right on the first room, run back up the wall, and then take on the rest. Yeah. Anyway, it just feels excellent and satisfying. Fucking yeah, Sifu.
Good game.
Good
Excellent,
game.
good game.
Good game. Very, very combat intensive if you're someone that likes, the getting your ass beat and then getting back up and trying to fucking learn the pattern and improve on it, then by all means, this is for you. Check it out.
Yeah, it absolutely has the incredible like total mastery emotion where like the easiest one is like Old Boy Hallway, where at the beginning goes from like, oh man, I made it, to like these dudes are a joke.
It's nothing. Yeah, there's a flow and you can keep it going. And that sort of like enemy to enemy seamlessness and keeping an eye on like evading incoming shit while you're dealing with the one in front of you, as well as strategic use of your iframes on takedowns.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who the most hated enemy in the entire game is for me. The blonde girl with the bob cut in the first big room in the club.
The kickers.
No, the blonde with the bob hair. The first character you see going into the big club room in the club, because if you don't take her out immediately, she'll go way off camera and throw bottles at you the whole fight from off camera.
Okay, the first room in the club, right?
Yeah.
The first. I don't even know that because I always take her out first, regardless.
Yeah, well now I do.
She's just the first person in my line of sight that I run to. Interesting. I didn't know she does that. And then the guy that's well dressed is always going to be a little harder than the rest of that group and whatever. Yeah, you learn to memorize that run.
I don't know. You probably figured this out already. But did you know that if you suspect a character is going to become a secret badass, like when you go to take them out, they do the fancy animation. If you suspect that they're going to do that because you've killed most of the people in the room and nobody has done it yet, just beat them down with regular punches. They won't transition into the stronger version.
If you don't do a takedown on them?
Yeah, if you don't do the takedown on it, it doesn't happen.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
You can get these situations where you're like, one of these people in this room always
is gonna rage out. Version. Yeah.
So don't use takedowns on any of them. Just beat them all down.
Okay. Because I was gonna say strategic use of your iframes on takedowns for healing and for avoiding what's going around you is pretty useful. And that ends up more or less replacing what was stances in Absolver, because you have to pay attention to 4 orientations of like which way you were facing in that game, and while still keeping all that defensive shit in your mind, and in this case it's like, okay, you're not going to worry about your stance anymore, just focus on the group, and if 3 dudes are fucking swinging hard at you, you're not going to parry all of those. Just get the fuck out. Use your big run, sprint, jump over the table, run away, be Jackie Chan, it doesn't matter.
This game kind of makes me feel bad for Absolver, because like I knew Absolver had a multiplayer component before it came out, but like I kind of expected Absolver to basically be Sifu, but also there's multiplayer.
Okay.
And when I started up Absolver, I played it for like an hour, and I was like, "What the fucking hell is this?" And it was like, Sifu is what I wanted.
Yeah, Absolver is no narrative fight world. And learning skills involves seeing them in the wild and defeating your enemy, or learning to counter them. But anyway, fucking sick. Okay, well, I know I said we had to move, but taking the time to talk about this incredible game is worth the time, certainly. I cannot wait to jump back in, and yeah, I'll keep that shit in mind. It's bothering me. There's one last thing I was holding on that I wanted to say that I'm stuck on, but I don't remember.
It's gone, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you go dude or chick?
I went with the guy.
Okay. I want that beard, so I like the beard shag of getting older looks super rad, but I went punch girl in the end because I was like, I think that's cool too,
So like, okay, you know what? I actually do have a problem with the game, like a real problem. If you're doing excellently and you stay in your 20s, your character looks like shit compared to the character in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, getting more ragged as you go is a fun idea. And I don't mind it, but it is a thing that when I first heard about the aging mechanic, I misinterpreted it completely. I thought it was every time you fail to take your revenge, you have to go back and train and come back when you're older, and that the game was about someone spending their life, going through these things.
Magic amulet.
Yeah. So like the idea of like, remember me from 10 years ago, well, look at me now, is kind of a cool thing, but it's not actually that,
Yeah, it also gets you a great moment when a boss kills you like literally 18, 19, 25 years in a row, and just starts to go, dude, I can literally just do this all day.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, I know. It's magic amulet shit instead, but it's fine.